Listen, Arsenal fans, I feel just the way you feel about this match. Frustrated, annoyed, whatever word you want to call it. That's exactly how I felt after watching that performance against Newcastle. Let's talk about it. There are not much positives to be picked from this game, as collectively they were not up to the standard required. However, there are a couple things I would like to highlight. First, we have to admit that Newcastle were better than Arsenal in so many ways. They had a plan and stuck with it. They knew that with the absence of Odegaard, we relied on our wingers for chance creation, so their game plan was quite easy. All they had to do was that every time the ball went to the wing, they doubled or tripled on Saka and Martinelli and forced them to always pass back. We couldn't advance play from both wings. Then they got one chance and that was it. Fair enough. Now, let's talk Arsenal. First, Thomas Partey needs to go back to his usual midfield position. Every time he was in the midfield in the match, we looked much more better. Don't get me wrong, Ben White was not fit enough to start. Calafiori and Tomiyasu were also not available, so we had no option than to play Partey at right back. But honestly, these guys cannot come back soon enough. All that said, Partey was one of the better performers against Newcastle. Declan Rice, he almost single-handedly ran the midfield in that match. Him and Partey are the only players that showed up to the occasion. Even when Newcastle got really physical, he was up to the task. When Ben White came on and Partey moved into the midfield completely, Declan Rice moved higher up the pitch and tried to make things happen in attack. Declan Rice and Partey are the only players that can say they gave their all. The rest of the players, Arteta and his coaching staff, need to go home and look themselves in the mirror. They need to ask themselves if that performance was good enough to fetch even a point. What we lacked in that match was true control, and this is where Odegaard was supposed to come in. You would notice that we were much better with Partey in the midfield as well as when Jorginho came on. Apart from that, we were all backs but no bites. We had a lot of touches in Newcastle box, but we lacked that urgency in the final third. Now, to the elephant in the room, Ethan Nwaneri. At halftime, I wanted him to come out for Trossard, not for creativity, but for urgency in the final third. Over the past few weeks, I've seen more and more people clamor for Ethan Nwaneri to come on because they believe he solves the creativity issue of chance creation at Arsenal. Nwaneri came on in the 61st minute and barely had any impact throughout the match. The intensity of the match swallowed him up. Perhaps this is why Arteta is reluctant to give him more minutes in the Premier League. Also, I hope that we can all see that Nwaneri is more of a final third action guy than a creative outlet that we all think he is. A lot of areas he needs to improve on. His movement on and off the ball is still not Premier League ready. Twice, he could have made underlapping runs to receive the pass, but he didn't. That's one of the areas he needs to improve on. But you see, the good thing is that he is only 17 years old, and so I implore us all to stop pressuring the manager into playing him like he's supposed to be a savior. Let the manager take his time with him. That being said, we need to stick together regardless. We are at a crazy time right now, and one way to look at it is that we have played almost all our supposedly tough fixtures against the top half of the table, and most of it has been away from home, while still maintaining a somewhat healthy gap with the league leaders despite the injuries. I'm backing us to bounce back with a win on Wednesday against Inter Milan. Let me hear your thoughts in the comment section, and I will say thank you so much for listening. Don't forget to like this post, repost so that others can watch and enjoy, and as well, follow me for more content like this.